August 19th, 2025. As you're looking at some pretty clear images over the southeast this morning, and that is my red and white husky Booger. Tina's in there making them some snacks, and he is insisting that she hurry up. But that's Bandit's brother, the husky that we lost a couple of years back, and him and I and his mom are pretty much inseparable since that point. I mean, he stays and he sleeps in the bed with me. If I'm feeling bad and I've got to lay down, he stays by my side. If I'm laying down or anything like that, he's right there. He doesn't move. He's always checking on me. And you can see Hurricane Erin right here. Now, the National Hurricane Center is predicting this morning that it's going to enlarge in size from where it is now and strengthen from what it is now. Now, it's not, and then it's supposed to downgrade back to, I think, a Cat 2 as it's close to the Nags Head area in North Carolina. One of the predictions is from the Hurricane Center this morning is that it's going to expand, and that may be what we're seeing right here. You see this, and what has happened, you notice it's much drier in this area of the storm than it is in this side. The moisture is being pulled off into this area, and that may be what they're talking about in the expansion, and that's telling you you're going to get more rain ashore as it tightens back up and strengthens. Again, we're going to take a look at that. Now, here are the Bahamas, and right in this area here is what's called Calypso Bay, and I think there's hotels and some restaurants and bars there on the beach. But notice how close the outer bands are getting right here, and we're going to take a look at that webcam as we do this. Now, let me go to infrared, and I'll show you what I'm talking about the dry area in the storm. See right here? This is detecting the moisture, but it's throwing it up north. Now, this is going to continue to push at you guys along the East Coast. And if you look at webcams now on the beaches, if you look way off in the distance, you'll start to see some cloud tops. But again, the center of circulation, is right in this area. And this is what I'm talking about. Right here is the current location of the hurricane right there. This is Calypso Beach right there. So let's take a look at that webcam. And remember now, this is just where the center is, and those storm clouds were extending out already very close to here. Now, this is live. It's looking dead out at those clouds coming in. These are the outer bands, not the hurricane itself, but you can tell by these outer bands what this is. If you've seen these hurricanes come in before, you know you got trouble. Plus, look at the white caps as you get further out. Now, it looks like we're at low tide right now. This is going to change, and you can tell by the wind. You've got the wind wrapping more to the right because of the spin, but it's pushing the ocean forward. It's got the flag wrapped around the pole a couple of times here. Beautiful areas here. You got well-protected dunes because they let the vegetation make it instead of building right on top of it. Very wise when you're in the forefront of the hurricanes as they come in from the Atlantic. But again, check this out. That's what is coming, and we'll get to see more of this throughout the day because starting today, of course, it's Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be critical days, and of course Thursday. Guys, and just quickly, this is Daytona Beach, and there's other cameras, but the top three that we usually watch are down right now. You can see the ocean is very agitated, and there's some rain on this left side of the camera, or raindrop there. And you can see the clouds, the same ones that you're seeing that are part of the extension. Remember, they said this thing would extend out, and we saw that as the top of the clouds were being pulled to the north, and the left side of the storm was dry. But again, people walking on the beach right here, you can tell it's windy and cool because of the jackets. But that's the whole purpose of a hurricane, is to take away some of the stifling heat, bring us moisture and cool relief as it circulates all of this heat into the upper atmosphere where it's cool, like an air conditioner, and lets it drop back down. If it wasn't, this planet would be uninhabitable, guys. Now, this is going up into the Outer Banks. This is called the Blue Beach webcam. You can see the storm flags up. And guys, this is a little stronger than the normal waves here. These are probably 3 or 4 footers out here. Now, let me say something. You're going to have about now they're saying maybe 3 to 4 foot storm surge, right? Not that bad. But what they're talking about is the waves could be 15 to 20 foot tall. Storm surge is on top of that. So they're looking at major destruction for all, and it makes no sense if you look at some of the houses built. Some are built back up on top of these berms next to the road, but some are down there on the sand on big stilts. There's no way that they will stay there, but I guess if you got that kind of money, you can pay for the insurance and, and all of that. Plus, it's not very good for the beach habitat at all. But guys, this is, again, Blue Beach up in the Outer Banks, and Booger is fussing about his snacks, not quite ready yet. Now, let me move this map. This is the current location of the hurricane. These two coordinates I put in from the data from the National Hurricane Center on their computer printout, and this one. You see that 1, 2, 3. Now, after this, I'm going to continue it all the way up into the Virginia area, but I want to point out something. These two markers were from yesterday evening, so we're already seeing a much further westerly drift from here to here, and so the next one would be somewhere in this area. See that? So we're seeing, again, a change from last night to here, right there already. Now, something else about the topography here, as it gets into, this is the Outer Banks up here in this area, Morehead City, all of this, and Orcoke, there's Hatteras, Buxton, and you see this rise right here coming out of the deeper waters. A lot of this was land before we had the ice melt and after the younger dry ice, and the land extended to here. I actually have the entire world in those maps now in different sections. That'll be a different video. But this rise coming in here is why you guys are going to get 15 to 20 foot seas. You're already getting, the buoys are showing 20 to 24 foot waves out around the hurricane. So when they hit this shallow area, you're going to lose most of those houses along this area. This is not land. This is actually the sound, the Pamlico Sound, but it just looks that way because it's so shallow. But again, that rise is going to be a problem. And remember, it's going to be running across the Gulf Stream. And that's going to strengthen it even more. Back it out just a little further. This is Bermuda. Bermuda, you're looking better and better in this situation, and I know you need it after the last few years. You've taken quite the brunt. Plus, hurricane season is not over. But we're definitely seeing, again, here's the 3 points this morning, and this are the 2 from yesterday. Now, this is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. It's been out 18 minutes. It came out at 11 a.m. Eastern time right there. Now, it's changed from this morning. This thing was supposed to strengthen just a little bit in here, and it may still do that. Once I put the computer data in the next video, guys, it will give us the speed and the locations and all of that. So we'll just, again, before too long, you'll see that other video come up. But here's the path, and that's just where the center of circulation is supposed to be, somewhere within this path. Not the size of the storms, but let me show you something. The dark area is where it's very concentrated, where you saw that tight spin. That is the hurricane speed winds. But the tropical storm force winds, which go, guys, they get very high. They extend out this far. So you're looking at a very wide area coming up through, again, North Carolina. Now, the blue areas are tropical storm warnings. The yellow are tropical storm watches. See that? We're not seeing any hurricane warnings out at this time because it's going to start moving away. Now, this morning it was also at 7 miles per hour, which had slowed down quite a bit. And now that allows it more time for strengthening and warmer water. But that's a good thing because it's pulling more and more heat out. Now, it is sustained winds at 105, which puts it at a Cat 2, 110, gets it into the plus, gets it into a major hurricane. And it was 110 at the 8 a.m. update this morning. But it has increased forward speed from 7 to 9, so that may start more and more movement. Now, this is a public summary, and this is as of 11 a.m. or 1500 UTC time. And this is the coordinates. You saw that. I had it marked on the map. It's about 650 miles southwest of Bermuda. That was due north of there. About 690 miles or 1,150 kilometers southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. It's going to get much closer, 105 mile per hour winds, Cat 2, moving northwest at 9 miles an hour and 961 millibars of pressure. It says a storm surge warning has been issued for the North Carolina Outer Banks from Cape Lookout to Duck. A tropical storm warning has been issued for the North Carolina Outer Banks from Beaufort Inlet to Duck. A tropical storm watch has been issued north of Duck to Cape Charles Light, Virginia. Now, a summary is the storm surge warning is in effect from Cape Lookout to Duck, North Carolina. Tropical storm warnings for the Turks and the Caicos Islands, southeast Bahamas, Beaufort Inlet to Duck in North Carolina. Tropical storm watch is in effect for the central Bahamas, north of Duck, North Carolina to Cape Charles Light, Virginia. Remember to watch for tornadoes and waterspouts. A tropical storm warning means the tropical storm conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area within the next 36 hours. A storm surge or a tropical storm watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible in the area within 48 hours. A tropical storm or tropical surge warning means there's a danger of life-threatening inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline during the next 36 hours in the indicated locations. For a depiction of areas at risk, please see the National Weather Service storm surge graphic. We're going to look at that. This is a life-threatening situation. Did you hear that? Life-threatening situation. Persons located within these areas should take all necessary actions to protect life and property from rising water and the potential for other dangerous conditions. Promptly follow evacuation and other instructions from local officials. Guys, if you're close to the beach in these areas, get west and north. Now, you're probably going to have to travel further than you normally would because of the evacuation orders. Wouldn't they start Monday at 10 a.m.? And people were already evacuating, or that was the mandate for it to everyone to be out. So the rooms are going to be booked up. That doesn't matter. If you got to drive another 100 miles to keep your family safe, do it. Now, it says that interest in the northwestern Bahamas, Bermuda, and the U.S. mid-Atlantic and southern New England coast should monitor the progress of Erin. At 11 a.m., the center of the hurricane was located at these coordinates. Erin is moving towards your northwest at 9 miles an hour. Going to turn towards the northwest with an increase in forward speed is expected today, followed by northward motion on Wednesday, and then a northeastward motion on Thursday. That's where it starts to turn out. And that's perfect timing if it stays off the shore. Again, you're going to get wet, you're going to get eroded beaches, you're going to get some impacts, but maybe you won't get the inland flooding and the heavy damage. But we do need the cooling. You guys know that. On the forecast track, the center of Erin will move past to the east of the Bahamas today and tonight, and then move over the western Atlantic between the U.S. East Coast and Bermuda on Wednesday and Thursday. Maximum sustained winds are again at 105 miles per hour, 165 kilometers, with higher gusts. Fluctuations in strength are possible over the next few days. Erin is a large hurricane. Hurricane force winds extend outward to 80 miles or 130 kilometers from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend up to 205 miles or 335 kilometers out from the center. The minimum central pressure reported by Air Force Hurricane Hunter aircraft is 961 millibars and are 28.38 inches. Now, the storm surge is not going to be as high as we've seen, especially some of the bigger hurricanes that make a direct hit, but up to 3 feet in the blue and up to 4 foot in the yellow. This is Duck they were talking about, and this is Cape Lookout right there. 1 to 3 feet up in the Neuse Bay rivers and the Pamlico and Pungo rivers, 1 to 3 feet. So if you've got a boats docked in those areas, make sure that you're above that. But notice how flat the land is until you get up into the mountains. And here's the rise. But what they're saying is water levels along the immediate coast, this is the bottom, and this is the 11 a.m. report, now 29 minutes old. Water levels along the immediate coast could reach the following heights above ground level within the indicated areas. Elevated water levels will likely be accompanied by large and destructive waves, 15 to 20 feet, guys. Colors are determined by the highest values in the associated forecast peak range. Values shown on this graphic are inclusive of tide. So that means they're counting in that the tide will be at that level at the impact points. They're not saying if it's going to be high or low or whatever, but that includes the tide. So you want to watch this. This could change. You could be looking at 4 to 6 feet, maybe up to 7 feet in areas as it approaches. We're just going to have to see. But again, the peak storm surge forecast is provided within 48 hours of a storm surge occurring in a given area. So you're seeing it. It's 48-hour warning, but they're saying it's going to go downhill in this area within 30 to 36 hours. You're already seeing rises in the people surfing and things like that along the Outer Banks. But again, 2 to 4 feet, so then 15 and 20-foot waves. And that's what we're seeing when we're seeing 24-foot seas around some of the buoys. But guys, we're watching this. You watch it. I'm going to do the information of all the computer printouts going up into the area off North Carolina. It's going to take me a little bit, and we got a live stream coming up here before too long. So somewhere in this area, in the next couple of hours, you'll see the update anyway. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.